Hey guys, welcome to our bonus room. This is where we spend time with the family, watch TV, and hang out. Today, I'm gonna show you how we took this blank wall that has no storage or anything useful and turned into that. 7 sheets of plywood later, 8 cabinets, and a whole lot of courage and sweat. We finally got this ultimate media console. So without wasting any more time, let me show you how I did it and let's get into this video. Let's go. Let me show you the inspiration behind this media built-in that we want to do. We want to do big towers here. These are going to be big shelves. These are also going to be drawers right there. I wanted the middle part to be elevated off the ground, and then we're going to have a nice big mega grand storage below there. It's going to be 12 feet wide and probably another 10 feet tall. So we're first going to tackle the sides. Folks, what I have here are basically the beginnings of 2 cabinets. Plan all your cuts ahead of time and then mass produce them. The next I have to do is put pocket holes on the back of these reinforcement pieces. So for this assembly method, there's gonna be one little trick that you have to do is create a dado cut. Now a dado cut is basically just a channel. I remembered I have a Ryobi 10-inch contractor table saw, and what I thought I might do is just set up a permanent dado blade in here that for cabinet making, I can just always mass produce them. We need one more dado and we'll be ready to start assembling. I could do that on my table saw because 1/8 of an inch is what the thickness of a blade is. So I was just gonna move it once, and then we should get our distance. Oh crap. I basically made 4 sides that are all the right side. The bottom dado is fine, it's just this first cut. I should have had 2 boards that are on the other side so I can have a left and a right, and now I have all right. All right, let's put this puppy together. We're gonna need appropriate pocket hole screws, 1.25 inch based off of the wood that we're using. We're gonna use a few dashes of wood glue just to make sure this thing is indestructible. This is a 45-degree angle. It's mounted in the back like that, right? It's got a little hook. This is the other side of that 45-degree angle. This will be mounted on the wall like this. But essentially this will just sit like that. Doing the 2 side towers, we'll call it like the bookshelf part. I'm gonna cut them down in 12 inches. And why am I doing them in 12 inches? Well, because originally I was gonna do 14 inches, and then I realized I would need 3.5 sheets plus another one. So then I said, let's make it easier. Let's do 12 inches, that way 1 sheet, I'll get all 4. And I'll make it easier. We'll save a bunch of money. So each tower is going to have 4 shelves. What I'm going to do is use the pocket holes as well to attach them permanently in place. So my madman approach here is to make sure I have a consistent spread here. So I'm using a board that's 21 inches, a little bit of glue, secured in place. Okay, so she's done. Now am I going to pick it up? I don't know. Kyle, do you mind helping? So I want to create a beefier look on the sides and space it out about 4 inches on each side. So I think I'm going to rip some pieces that are 7 feet tall, just like this. 1 panel on the outside and then a couple of short pieces on the inside, and create basically a blocking set here with pocket holes and all that jazz. This is gonna have enough strength in there to connect the next cabinet that's gonna be overhung over the TV. Now we have to do the ones that are uppers. They're gonna be the exact replica of these ones below, except they're just gonna have a few extra dividers in there to make everything match. All right, one down, one more to go. how do I secure this from falling over? And I was gonna use L brackets, but I wanted actually a more, I don't know, a solid approach than that. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a scrap piece of wood that I have, I'm gonna rip it into a 1x2, and then in the very back, pretend this is the wall, I'm gonna basically secure with wood and glue and screw with wood and glue, just screws and glue from the bottom. And then this will be 1.5 inches tall, so I will just secure that into the wall studs and you won't see it because there's gonna be a face frame up there. All right, the approach to the face frame is gonna be, we're gonna use 1x2 select pine. I didn't go with the dense wood just because there's not gonna be doors being slammed on these top cabinets. So, quick cuts, Brad nailed them in place with some wood glue, and then to conceal everything, we're just gonna use some wood filler and she'll be spotless. The method to my madness with these face frames is to make sure it's plumb and flush on the inside of the cabinet and then overhangs the other part. Ready? Watch this. Look at that. That is a nice looking shelf, man. All right, hey, if you're brand new to the channel and you like home improvement videos or furniture build stuff, make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell. That way you'll know when these videos come out, so we keep making more of this stuff that you guys hopefully enjoy. For the lower carcasses, I think I will put a filler piece in here. Therefore, I could put a nice decorative face frame or trim around it and it'll kind of put it all better together. We're gonna start patching up all the wood that has the brad nail holes in it. Quick light application, sand it to about 120 grit. And what are we gonna do? I think we're gonna start actually assembling some of the carcasses in place so we get better measurements in. We have to do the drawers themselves. They're gonna be recessed in, so that means the drawer face is gonna be going inside, lining up with the face frame itself. The most important part with carpentry is the ability to not create a straight cut, but the ability to repeat that cut. That's why I'm using a little scrap piece that I've already measured out, so I'm not having variables with a weird pencil or my tape measure all the time. We are going to, for the bottoms of these drawers, use the 1/4 inch plywood. I'm gonna set my depth here. We'll do a 1/4 inch on each side, do 2 passes so we can actually fit the plywood. So one finishing move we need to do before start putting these drawers together is, and this is where you get extra points with the teacher, round over all the edges. They're just so much smoother. You can later on go with sandpaper and then just do the edges so it doesn't cut anybody. But if you give it a nice 3/8 round over, whew, they are smooth, baby. Look how buttery smooth, folks. Up next, let's pocket hold the outsides of these puppies and we'll be ready to start assembling. Let's do it. Hey, look at that. We got ourselves a drawer, folks. That only took 3 times to say. I'm gonna start making some more. We need to start building cabinet doors and drawer faces. We are gonna use the router just because I have a nice, bit, like a 2-piece bit. Your rails on the inside, they have to protrude or kind of go extra 3/8 this way and 3/8 this way. So essentially this piece and this piece has to be 3/4 inches longer than your overall dimension because it's gonna go in like a tongue and groove setup. To prevent any kind of tear outs, you wanna have another piece behind the piece that you're cutting. Like my little rig here. Folks, sometimes things just work out. I'm gonna start gluing things up, use a little bit of clamps just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere, and of course keeping it square because nobody wants a weird drawer face. Folks, the next day, look how beautiful everything came out. Quick sand, hit them with 120. I don't think I'm gonna go up to 220 because we're gonna paint and prime and the whole shebang. All right, so we're gonna be installing the drawer slides. Here they are. Like I said, they're 1/2 inch gap on each side. But guess what we have? We have a face frame. Therefore, we cannot attach it and have the drawers open up because of the face frame. I've just cut up some scrap pieces to mount to the side here, and then the drawer slides will come here, and we'll be able to still use both the face frame and have our drawers come out adequately. Ooh, that is smooth, baby. Let's go. All right, let's install the drawer faces. You just set your drawer face in the front and then use the deck of cards. Decide how many cards you want to put along the sides and the bottom and the tops. Equal amount of cards means a perfect gap. I can't find my cards. My kids stole them all. I don't know what we're doing, so we're gonna improvise. I'm gonna use cardboard. The reason it's gonna work for me right now is I've done my due diligence and I planned ahead all the gaps. They're supposed to be 1/8 of an inch, roughly, so this is close enough. We'll set it at the bottom, sides to sides, place the drawer face there, clamp it in place, make sure it doesn't move, come out, and then secure the screws from the bottom. For the doors, they are gonna be recessed, right? We're gonna put a 3/4 inch piece in here, which is the distance from this back wall to this face frame, just where the hinges are gonna line up. Therefore, we're almost gonna bend the rules a little bit. We use a little jig to create the hole in the doors, put them all in, line them up, and they should be working no problem. All right, so one of the issues that I'm seeing right now, it's a huge issue, this cutting bit would be overlapping by what looks like to be like 1/8 of an inch. I should have, when I built these doors, gone a little bit wider instead of maybe a 1x2, maybe do a 1x3, 1x4. Now, we are where we are. I have 4 doors. I think what I'm gonna do is rip a piece of pine, add a 1/4 inch strip on this side where the hinge will be. I'll glue it so it'll be super strong, then use the jig, make my holes, and then on the opposing side, I would rip a 1/4 inch off because my gaps have to be a certain amount to make sure the doors work. Let this be a lesson, folks. Don't use 1x2 for stiles and rails, at least on cabinet doors. Bump them up to like the next up, 3.5 or 1x4, something like that. I'll just glue the pieces that I cut off back on and we'll see how it turns out. If it turns out like crap, I'll have to rebuild these doors. So it actually worked out pretty well, though it was frustrating. And as you can see, the glue up went perfectly seamless. We're ready to paint, everything sanded and dusted off. So I'm gonna start masking things off. So I'm gonna mask this off so I can stain it. Not painting the inside of the cabinets. I actually really like when the cabinets are more of a natural color. All right, let's shoot some primer on our project. I'm using a General Kilt all-purpose interior primer. You wanna use primer on raw wood. Prevents it from chipping, and not to mention, if you don't use primer, the amount of paint that you're gonna have to use before it soaks it all in, before it stops, is obnoxious. As far as the sprayer, we're going with the Wagner Flexio 3500. It's primarily best for fine finishes, small projects, medium size exterior, so this is exactly what we're looking for. This is where the money's at. It's a small pattern, perfect for baseboards, perfect for furniture, minimal amount of overspray. Paint, folks. This is Advanced from Benjamin Moore. I use this on the trim and the doors in my house. It's been like, what, 7 months, and it held up perfectly. The color is Vintage Vogue. It's the same color that's in the room, the bonus room, the green. Really cool. Irina likes it. That means I have to like it as well. I'm kidding, I like it a lot. Once you've sanded all your boards down to 220, fantastic. Then you put primer up, great. But the thing is, all the little fibers on the wood starts rising when they get wet. So this is a little coarse. We're gonna knock it down with about 220 grit, really quick, nothing crazy with a sander. And then we'll put paint on it and that will create a nice, clean, soft, silky smooth finish. So Irina mentioned she wants to stain all the wood shelves like a walnut color. I'll do a little quick test. I'll go show it to her. I don't know if she's gonna like it or not. This is walnut, and that's exactly how that's gonna look.
I was wanting dark. I think it's great.
You want even darker than that?
No, I think that's good.
So you want this?
I wanted like the walnut color.
No. Do you like that?
Where's the green? I want to put it against the green. No, I like it.
We're done, 100%.
Yeah, I think it's going to look
Okay.
great. It's going for a moody look. Oh, okay, I like that.
Better not get any of that. Can I sand it?
I never sanded the cabin actually.
I know.
You know what happened?
Because you're dying inside a little bit.
No, I
What?
actually am like, I like it.
Mm-hmm. You went from liking it to not liking it to now liking it again.
Yeah. I'm the most decisive person you'll ever meet.
I do like this way more than that. But I don't like the fact that we're painting the cabinets the same color as the room. In fact, let us know in the description.
Well, so this is my my thinking behind it. If you do it like a different color, so you wanted to do it like the
Like
color of our cabinets, basically, right?
Yeah.
If you do that, it's gonna look like it's not part of the wall. And our whole thing was like we want it to.
Let us know in the description. Will you like it when you see the final reveal of the exact color as the walls, or do you think it would look better if it was a different color? And then
I like having the same color of the walls and then doing the floating shells a different color because it adds a little bit of a contrast.
We'll see what the masses say.
I don't know. I feel like you have a pretty dedicated following that is going to stand behind you.
I know. Mr. Build It Militia, that's what we're doing.
Build It Militia.
Mr. Build It Militia. They're ride or dies, man. It's install time. We're gonna remove the baseboard because the side cabinets go flush against it. These vents, I'm gonna relocate them. So in the meantime, I'm gonna pop these off, find all the studs because that's the most important part. Everything's gonna get mounted to the studs, and then I'll hang the French cleat system, starting with the middle drawers and then work our way up. So for the top, I decided to make it a little bit simple. I used the same plywood, maple, 3/4 inch, but we're gonna beef it up, right? So I'm gonna put this on top and then put the 1x2 at the bottom, obviously stained. I'm gonna put these brackets on the very tippy top and secure them with glue and screws from the bottom. And then I'm gonna screw this part into the wall studs to keep them from going forward. All right, the installation is going surprisingly smooth. I'm gonna save you guys the hassle because I've already installed the drawer faces once. I'm putting it all back together. I will do one more thing before showing you guys the big reveal. I'm probably gonna sand just the faces of those on top and stain these so it looks like it continues all around. But without any more further ado, let me show you guys this big reveal. So let's talk about the overall price breakdown of this project. For the plywood, it was $600. For the 1x2 trim, which we use a lot, it was $200. Paint was pretty pricey, it was $56 as well, but it was a quality paint. And of course, the hardware was $240. All in all, making this giant project with a lump sum total of $1,096. Hey, thanks so much for sticking around watching yet another one of my videos. It means the world to me. If you have an input on this project, maybe a suggestion I should have done differently, I'd love to hear them in the comment section below. Connect with me on all my social media. Links will be in the description, as well as the merch section. We have all the Curtain Sweat merch, all help support this channel, including my Patreon, where we have extended versions of these videos that are like an hour long, where we don't cut out anything. A lot of important stuff is in there. Hope you guys find it useful. Thanks so much for Wagner for partnering on this project with us. I'm a huge fan of the Flexio 3500. The link for that tool will be in the description below as well. Remember guys, we are not trained professionals. We're just not afraid to try and fail. Curtain Sweat, that's our motto. And of course, if you're brand new to the channel and you like videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button and important, tap the notification bell that will be alerted every time a video comes out. Tune out this week. We'll see you guys on the next one. See ya. Bye.